Okay, guys, good evening. Welcome to our powwow for this. Well, I was going to say for this month. It is for this month, obviously, our second one of this month. So it actually feels like, only yesterday we did beginning of the month, but we're at the middle of the month, and the purpose of this evening is we're gonna go over the planning ahead document again, just to kind of reiterate everything that we've had and that we've got coming. We have the amazing Katrina McLean, who is going to come and talk to you how she's got, how she finishes her month strong, but she front loads for the following month, so we're not starting that new month with the dreaded 0. And then obviously it's a free space for you guys. So we would love, like Lisa and I said when we set this up, when Lisa set this up, like we said, we want this to be a place for you to share ideas, anything that's working for you. This isn't our call. We're obviously here to guide you. But if there's anything you want to share, we would love to hear your ideas and what is working, because you guys inspire us, and there is literally a wealth of knowledge on this call. So yeah, I think Lisa has just joined us. I've just seen her jump on, looking absolutely glowing. Lisa. Oh, you're muted, babe. Hang on.
I am glowing, yes. Let me just shut the door. 2 seconds, guys.
Okay. Right, hang on a second.
Oh, here we go. Oh my God, I do look a little bit orange. I'm not going to lie. But
popped over to the Caribbean for.
I went to Barbados and now I'm back. I've got my Diet Coke and we was gassing, and I was like, I've really got to go. I'm really sorry. I knew I was going to be a little bit late, but it wasn't too bad. Right, so planning ahead document. Let's just talk about what's still left for the end of the month. There isn't huge amounts left for the end of the month, but we are just over.
I printed it off.
Yeah, we are just over the middle of the month, aren't we? So yeah, we've got a few things. Obviously, we've just had Disney's Ratatouille and the summer collection relaunch. And I must admit, watching you guys work your magic with that summer collection has just been incredible, hasn't it, Laura? I feel like It was like back to like COVID days.
No, I know, not to kind of always refer back to that, but when sellouts happen, it's just, it's a good thing. It means we've got a product that people want. We've got a product that is hot property. So yeah, it was a real buzz the other night.
And for me, I always think what a company to work for when you've got sellouts happening, because there are a lot of network marketing companies right now that don't have those sellouts happening, that don't have products that are literally going out of stock, especially when you're selling out buddies at £48 and you're selling out wax collections at £30. They're not cheap products. It's not like you're selling out individual bars. So from that perspective, I think that's it's pretty huge. So well done to you guys. Give yourselves a pat on the back if you sold, or actually tell us in the chat what you managed to flog. Did you manage to sell a Remy? How did you get on with the collections? Let us know so we can give you a little cheer.
Oh, and if you've hit this month's cheers to 20 years incentive, write incentive in the comments or something. All right, hit it. Let's see. Funny enough, we were talking about this today, weren't we? Saying how we love this incentive, and there's so many people going for it, and so many people that are on track.
Yes,
for each one so far.
It's exciting, really. I love it. I feel like Scentsy have hit the nail on the head with this particular incentive as well. Although definitely. I am ready to find out where we're going on our next trip, Laura. And that is something that's exciting me, and hopefully we're going to be taking you lot all with us.
Yes. So. Well, we're going to Florida in a few weeks. And then after that, we want as many people as possible on the next one.
So apart from that, we have got 9 more launches that are due for the rest of this month. So in terms of working the month with the products that you've got, there's still so much there. You've obviously the summer collection bars you still have ready to go. So I did a live with my team this month or last week on this about how to work this, working on things like treating almost the summer collection and the Ratatouille collection a little bit like flash sale. I said to my team, do all the things you would normally do in the flash sale, follow up with people, have club conversations with any of your existing clubbers and anyone that's potentially a new clubber. If you've got anyone that tells you, oh my God, I absolutely love my house smelling of spaghetti bolognese when that bar arrives. No, I'm not joking, because it's not going to be spaghetti bolognese, we hope. But if they do, having those conversations, using it as an opportunity to open up and have club conversations. I also am using this as an opportunity to speak to all of my clubbers. I have them all written down somewhere on my folder that's over there on the floor. I have all my clubbers written down, and they are on my list of people to do a follow-up with whilst I'm on holiday over the weekend and I'm laying on a sunbed. I am going to be doing a follow-up with them to say to them, have you seen all of the products that are in our promotions section on the Scentsy Club website? So if you haven't checked that out, there's a whole section called promotions, I think it's called, and they're all the bars that you can add. The summer collection's on there, Star Wars is on there, the Harry Potter bars are still lingering on there.
Father's Day, I've actually sold a Father's Day collection today. Now it's really important to remember, like Lisa just said, when these products launch, like it's amazing and there's all the buzz and all the hype, but Father's Day collection, that if you like manly scents, like, or if your customers like manly scents, that is an amazing collection. All 3 of the bars in that collection are, so don't forget that that's there as well. You know, I know we've got the summer collection and it's incredible, but if you've got customers that like, you know, like aftershave type, like manly scents, like Trina just said, fittest wax ever. It really is. Make sure you're still having those conversations as well. One of them makes me sneeze.
Yeah, I think one of them makes me sneeze, the blue one. One of mine was like that today. It was making me a bit sneezy. So yeah, really treating all of those things like flash sale. That's what I try and do now. I try and think of LTO launches and any new products that we're getting, any exclusive products. You need to be talking about these things over and over again because they're pretty sensational. Also, I just want to draw your attention back to the curated bundles because that for me has been a huge hit this month. The fact that Scentsy brought out a 3-bar bundle. So if you've not given that any focus, I would love you to put some focus into the 3-bar bundle this week because I sold something like 9 or 10 of those. And obviously, when you start adding 3-bar bundle, they become a 6-pack. And when you're selling sort of 6, 7, 8 6-packs in a go, that's like well over an active order. And lemon is like such a huge seller, especially at this time of year when we're going into summer and now we're starting to get a bit of nice weather. People want citrus. So that Lemonade My Day 3-bar bundle was a huge hit for me. And what I'll just give you the tip. What I ended up doing is, most of you will know this from the active posts that we've been doing, but I basically offered them to my customers at £18, and I just put 2 lemonade bundles together to a 6-pack, and it literally is just a 6-pack in half. And it meant that privately I could offer that 3-pack a little bit cheaper, and I sold them like hotcakes. People were like, oh my God, yeah, I'll have one, you'll have one, you'll have one. I did that in my WhatsApp chat. So bear that in mind, but do some focus on those particular scents. The same with Jamming Jubilee. I don't know about you guys, but I'm just in love with that bar. It's going to have to go on my cup. Do you love it, Laura?
I say this is, again, like people just saying about making me sneeze. I love it. I can't warm that bar because it makes me sneeze. But like Dan is like obsessed with those type scents. So yeah, I do love the scent of it. And like when I was warming it,
yeah, he never gets to warm them because
he never gets to warm them. When, like, fun fact, when Harry was in hospital, he was like, I was putting all the Scentsy on that you can't warm. And he's actually changing the wax when I wasn't here.
I love that. I love that. I bet he had like vanilla bean buttercream and
yeah,
some
all the ones that I can't warm.
I can imagine. But that scent of the month is amazing. And if you are sampling all of these things, for example, summer collection and Father's Day collection, you know, if you sampled Harry Potter waxes because they're still available on Scentsy Club, if you've sampled, I'm just trying to think of what else, the scent of the month, for example, if you have sampled them, you're wasting money.
Sorry, 2 seconds.
That's okay, no, you're good. You're going to waste money, guys, if you're not doing that follow-up. So add that follow-up in your plan between the next sort of week or two to go back to every single customer that has had a sample of X, Y, or Z, whatever you've sampled. Now, I actually changed the way I sample, so now I have the same waxes throughout the whole month because it makes follow-up really, really simple for me. It just simplifies everything. They're in my drawer. I've got all different color samples. If someone says to me, you know that blue one that you gave me, I can go, yeah, that's Late My Day. And I know straight away what sample it is. And then it's easy for that follow-up process to happen. So please make sure you're doing the follow-up because otherwise you're leaving money on the table with all of these things. Okay, last one is to bring back my bar collection. Obviously, the early access has gone live. I haven't bought them, but I know some of you have. and they will be a game changer for when we start to talk about front loading. And that leads me nicely into going into talking about front loading your month. Okay. So the word front loading, hopefully you've heard of this word before. And if you haven't, then you've turned up and you're a bit like, I don't know what front loading means. I don't know what it is. So I'm just going to talk you through like what it means and why I feel it's so important. And that will lead us nicely into Katrina coming to talk to you guys and share about front loading her business. So for me, when I see the 0, and tell me if you feel the same, on my workstation on the 1st of the month, I get a few emotions, mixed emotions. Okay, it's like a roller coaster. 1, the excitement of the month. 2, I get overwhelmed because I don't know where to start. And 3, the anxiety sets in of where's my PRV coming for the whole month. And I get this every single month, even when I plan. However, since I have been doing a few different things, it has made such a difference to my business and how I feel about my business. Okay, brilliant. So what we're going to talk about tonight is how you can front load your month, but still work the month you're in, because this is something that I and Laura, we are very, very passionate about. And it's about making sure that you work the full month you're in. For example, we are on the 19th of June. We're going to share some tips with you for things that you can do now that will get you active for the 1st. But it's really important that you are making sure that you finish this month on the best possible PRV you can. Because it's no good if, I've got 500 PRV to go in on the 1st of the month, but I'm on 37 PRV tonight. That for me is, that's just as bad as having that anxiety over the 0. However, this is something that you can start to bring into your business so that you can start to get that focus to take that anxiety away, because we're going to give you so many ideas that you're going to have like an active order to go in on the 1st of the month, because it's new month. We're starting to think about where's your PRV coming from going into the next month and planning. And it's so important to do it because quite a lot of the time, I think for a really long time, I spent a lot of time just only working the month I was in, which is really important. And then it'd get to the 1st and I would have literally followed up with every single customer, and my customer base wasn't probably big enough to cope with this. And then I would be scrambling around because I was like, I want my 500 on the 1st, like at the 3rd at the latest. That's my rule for myself. Laura knows what I'm like with this. I'm like a dog with a bone. And if I haven't got that my 500 by my 1st, I'm a bit of like a flapper. And I go into like, I ring her and I go, I haven't done enough Scentsy today. And she'll be like, how much PRV have you got today? And I'm like, 200. And she's like, Lisa, you're working your business. And I'm like, no, it's not enough. And I get really like, but that's because I've conditioned myself I know that if I want 2,500 PRV a month, I want my 500 on my 1st, so that I'm already a 5th of the way in to building that PRV. But I do that cleverly so that my customers are not like knowing almost what's going on. It's like, I am clever about this. Now, for me, it used to be VIP boxes, but now I do a lot of different things, which we will talk to you about. But the difference is now, Laura and I can both say this, we have very large customer bases. So it does make it a little bit easier to bring that 500 PRV at the month. Oh,
it does. I just want to add something. There's 2 things I've just thought of while you were talking there. One, if you're in Scent Squad, you might have heard this today when Lisa was live, because I listened back to your live. So also, it's really easy now to think, it's at the 19th of the month, I'm only at 140 PRV, I'm not going to get active. Or it's the 19th of the month, I'm at 350, whatever, I'm not going to hit 500. It's only the 19th of the month. I have so many conversations with people where they go, this month's nearly done. It's not. It is so not nearly done. Like, so much can change. So rather than saying to yourself, like you said earlier, it's like, don't be honest with yourself. You don't just want to be at 130 PRV, or you don't just want to be at 350. You want to be active, or you want to be at 500, or if 2,000 your goal and you're at 1,700, you don't want to be at 1,700, do you? Like, let's be honest, you want to be at that 2,000. So don't sell yourself short because it's the 19th of the month. You've got however many days left. I can't count unless I count on my phone. But you can totally do it. So don't, even though we're talking about next month, absolutely do not write off this month just yet. Because you've got ages. You've got loads to work.
the point of us talking about this, guys, is to teach you a skill. This
Yeah.
is a skill. Front loading is a skill. And if you can bring this into your business, this will be a game changer for your business going forward. I know I've had this conversation with a few people in coaching calls recently. And the front loading part is about knowing where your PRV is coming from as you go into the next month, so that that fear factor is not there. Because that fear, and I talked about it today, that fear of failure can be paralyzing to the point of where you become so overwhelmed, you don't know what to do, you get anxious. And then what happens is we go into like mini meltdown mode. And when I see what Katrina does for the beginning of her month, for me, when we talked about it this week on voice note, I was like, and I actually went back and watched a live that Katrina did, which she's going to talk to you about tonight. She did it in Glitter Sparkle a little while back. I was like, oh my God, this is a game changer. And I am going to implement this into my business starting from July. And I'm really excited to introduce, well, Laura can introduce you to Katrina, but just Katrina's going to give you like one or two ways that she brings in her PRV to make sure that she's active on that first day of the month. And hopefully you guys can start to implement this. And going forward, you're going to say to me, Lisa, I'm active by the 1st. So when people say to me they're active on the 1st, I'm like, there is no reason why you can't get 1,000 PRV this month if you're active on the 1st. Because you've got 30 days to do 700 PRV. What is that even broken into? Some mathematician can do it, but that's like something ridiculous, like 42 PRV a day. Is that? It might be a little bit less than that even.
700
divided by 30.
23 PRV a day.
23 PRV a day. That's not it. So to get 1,000 PRV, if you can get active on the 1st, that's like selling 4 wax bars a day.
You can do that.
God. What game changer is that going to be, right?
And also, what's the second thing I was just going to add, and then before I will introduce the wonderful Katrina McLean, is my first, and I've done a post about this and I have shared about this, and I don't want to keep banging on about this, but when I actually look back, I actually said to Dan, so sometimes your circumstances are going to change. So don't tell yourself, oh, I can't do that. My customers don't order on my website. My customers don't buy with boxes. My customers don't do this. They do. You can adapt. So like my first of this month looked very different because I was sitting in a hospital and I wasn't at home and I didn't have anything with me. And obviously I didn't expect to be there. But you know what? When I got back, and I actually said this to Dan, where I was on the 7th or whatever it was, when I got back, I had more PRV on the system than I had done in previous month. When I looked in my order books, what I'd actually done, I'd actually put more PRV and they were all website orders. Now, I don't normally always work my business that way at the beginning of the month, but that month I had to. I didn't have a choice. So I adapted and I put through more PRV at the beginning of the month than I ever do. So this could be like a shift in your brain to go, actually, well, maybe what I've done hasn't worked previously to get me there. So actually, let's decide that I'm going to do this and I'm going to make it happen. And you can do it, because my month looked very different this month, but it actually worked better. So sometimes a change is as good as a rest, I think is the saying, isn't it? Like if you always do what you've always do, you'll always get what you've always got. So
I will add, sorry, before you introduce Katrina, things. If you can get active on the 1st of the month, it takes the pressure off of you as well for the rest of the month. Let's say, for example, you have something awful like Laura had here, where Harry was in hospital and you haven't got access to phone, computer, whatever, something awful happens, you don't have to worry because your business is sorted for the month. If you manage to get your 500 in on the 1st of the month, you then know as well, if you've got team members, that whatever happens, you're going to get paid on your team. Now, I'm not saying that you put your order in on the 1st of the month and then do nothing and sit there like swimmingly enjoying yourself, because that's really not how our business or Scentsy works. However, if circumstance means that you cannot do that, the pressure is taken off of you. Okay. So there's a real thought process behind this. Okay. Over to you, Laura. Introduce Katrina.
So yeah, I am going to introduce Katrina McLean. I didn't sponsor Katrina. I'll let her kind of tell that story a little bit if she wants to, but this is a really good example of, and Lisa and I were talking about this today, with building relationships within your team, because I didn't sponsor this lovely lady. She has rolled up to me twice. And is an absolute rock star. So she absolutely needs no introduction. She has a really busy family life, a really full-on job, does lots of charity work, is literally the busiest person I know, but absolutely has the best habits and absolutely smashes her business every month. So I will hand, I don't know where she's gone. I was going to try to spotlight her. Hang on. Let me get you on gallery view and then I can spotlight you. But yeah, Katrina McLean is absolutely amazing and is going to be a director in like a hot minute. So I will hand over to you, my love.
Okay, okay. Right, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so just briefly, because I think a lot of people that are on do know me, but as Laura said, Laura didn't sponsor me. I was sponsored by somebody who I used to work with. She left, and I rode up to her sister-in-law, who Laura had sponsored. She left, and there we go. That's how I rode up to you, though. We were already great friends, I think, weren't we? So, yeah, that's sort of that. And as Laura said, I'm quite a busy person. I do work full time. I'm a safeguarding and mental health lead in a special school. I did plan to be changed before we come on tonight, and then I've just realised I'm not changed, and I've actually got my tea down me. So that's just sort of how I normally roll. Totally winging it, and I've not planned anything, but I'm just going to talk about what I do, which is probably the best way. So as sort of Laura and Lisa have alluded to, it's a real balancing act front loading, because you've got to be, so it's a really good tool. Like, I always want to be active on the very first of the month, but it's a balancing act. You can't then stop working the month you're in. Like, or I always work the month I'm in till the very, very bitter end. But then at the same time, in the background, I've got that minimum active orders going on the first. Normally, really, I like it to be 500 or as close to, but it's never less than active. And I suppose there's one thing to say, I've said to my team before, there's no prizes for being active on the first, but it sets you off in really, really good stead, like Lisa said. So I know if I'm active on the first, I am on the path to be 2,000, which is my goal every month. And it takes that initial first of the month overwhelm, panic away from you. So the way I do it is it's a little bit of a balancing act, really. To get active on the first of the month, I'm aiming for that to be things. So if we're talking about June and July, I'm aiming for that to be things that I cannot sell in June, because if I can sell it in June, it's going in on June's PRV. So anything that people are ordering up till the 30th of June will be ordered in June, because I'm working the month I'm in. But the front loading is done with items that I cannot sell till the 1st of July, and I want them sold before the 1st of July. Now, the main thing I use for that is with boxes. And then, and I've worked with boxes in such a way that they tend to get me active. I'll be completely transparent. They didn't last month. They got me to 150, but I've been building on a few other things that then got me to active. So I do a whiff box special. I cannot claim it's my idea, because it wasn't. This was an idea that was shared, and then I've just really, really worked on it, been really, really consistent, and really developed it. These things that happen overnight, a little bit like the people that are doing really well with Sample Club. I've only just started that this month, and I'm going to need to put the work in to build it up. But my Whiff Box Club, most of the time, has 12 people getting it every month on the first. 12 Whiff Boxes done at the special price on the club, which I'll explain how you do, is an active order. So every 3 Whiff Boxes done at the club special price is 50 PRV. So how you put them in is basically you're setting up a Scentsy Club subscription. I set it up, put the order through, and then I cancel it. Some people who choose to do it this way will say to people that it has to be a subscription, you need to commit to 3 or 4 months. I personally chose not to do that, because I know if I did that, that would put my customers off. However, I have 9 people that have bought a Whiff Box every month for about 6 months now. So they're in a subscription. They're just not, they don't have the fear of thinking they're in a subscription with me. So if you put 3 Whiff Boxes in, well, you put 2 Whiff Boxes on Scentsy Club. I make it myself, my own Scentsy Club. You put 2 Whiff Boxes in, and then that is enough to have a half price item. So your half price item is going to be the Whiff Box. So I'm terrible at maths. I should have worked this out. I told you I've not prepared anything, but basically I know 3 Whiff Boxes with shipping is £34.20 a box. So I can charge people £34.20 a box. Shipping's covered.
Easy,
and
yeah.
I just set up the description, the subscription. I set one up that is obviously monthly, one up that is bi-monthly, one that is quarterly, and then the fourth one I do in my husband's email. And then I just cancel them. My customers know that if you want to get the whiff box at £34.20, you have to commit to getting it first. They cannot ask to wait to find out what's in it. They cannot decide they want one on the 6th and get it for £34.20. If you want it for £34.20, you have to let me know that you are committing to have it before the 29th, and the order goes in on the 1st. I do have some people who say to me, oh, can I wait? Can I wait and find out what's in it? And I say, absolutely. If you want to wait and find out what's in it, I'll message you when I know the contents, and it'll be £42. And then they're like, oh, right, okay. I might just take the gamble, really. I always build the firmer massively. So when I decided I was going to start doing this, I sat with every previous order book I've ever had, and I went through it, and I found every single person that has ever ordered a whiff box. And I contacted them, and I explained to them that I was going to be doing a whiff box gang, is what I call it. So it's like it's like built up now, whiff box gang. I've made a big thing of it. I was going to be doing a whiff box gang, and as they've had a whiff box in the past, I want them to be my VIPs, the first people who are getting the opportunity to get one at £34.20. Then what I do each month is obviously the people who had the whiff box the previous month at the special price, they get the message first. So I said to them, oh, as a VIP, I'm asking you first. I've really built up the firm over the last sort of 8 or so months that it's really limited spaces. So now what's naturally happened is I've got 4 people who they've actually said to me, can I just have a guaranteed spot? So they've put themselves in a subscription without me asking them to commit to buy it however many months. They've said, I don't ever want to lose that spot. So can I just set up a direct debit and have that spot? What I also did was I did used to do the VIP, like a monthly VIP box. In all honesty, I am too busy. I am just far too busy to come up with a theme, to buy the extras for it, to make all the fancy bits. So the people who used to get a VIP box off me really regularly, I went to them as well and said, the VIP box is being replaced with the whiff box special. Shall I move you over to that? And they love it. They're probably getting a much better deal, to be fair, actually, getting the whiff box at that price. It's miles easier for me. I love it when my whiff box delivery arrives, because I'm just like, throw a few samples in, throw supplies in, put a sticker on it. It's so easy. It's like the easiest delivery of the month. I just love it. I build firmware all the time. There's loads of different ways to build firmware. So everybody who ever has a whiff box, you need to go back to them one-to-one and just say to them, can you please do a review for me? And I try to say to them as well, can you please make sure you do a review on your own social media as well, not just in my customer group, and tag me in. I always get one for myself, because then I do a live and build the excitement. You've got a photo with your own face with it. And then obviously throughout that month, I'm using the products that are in the box, just reminding people that came in the whiff box. If they say, oh, that's nice, I'm like, oh, that came in this month's whiff box. Do you want to go on next month's whiff box scan? As new customers like come along, normally like after their first order, I'll say to them, oh, have you ever heard of a whiff box? Like, as a new customer, you could have a space on my whiff box gang. You could have a space early doors for the first of the month. And then I get really silly with it sometimes. So when the boxes arrive, if you just put a photo of a whiff box, it's just really not going to cut it, because there are thousands of photos of whiff boxes on the internet, like literally thousands. I mean, everybody and their dog shares the one with Laura's nail in. So you've got to make it like personal to your, like, you and your whiff box gang. So as a family, we've like stacked them in front of the Christmas tree at Christmas time to see if they could be taller than the Christmas tree. I've made a wall on my kitchen table, and we've done challenges to see if it's taller than my son, or if who can balance the stack of whiff boxes the longest. Do the cats want to use them as a climbing tower? Like, get creative, like get people in your house involved around like the whiff boxes. But don't just put a photo of a whiff box out there and say that's not going to create, because you want to sell 12. If you want this to be your idea that you're going to build to get active, you want to sell 12, and that's not going to catch the attention of 12 people. So then I don't start sharing this on social media till on the 28th of each month. I will share like a silly photo of us with the whiff box, and it's normally Canva saying, do you want to be in our whiff box gang? After I've already messaged people, and I'll just drip it in on social media like that a few times on different platforms, in my group, on my personal, on my stories. But most of my front loading is built up off social media, because my social media at that time in the month will still be working June. If it was this month, the front loading is done away from social media. I tried not to really share products that I cannot sell that month. That's just never really how I've worked my business. I might do the odd teaser, but this for me primarily is done in the background. I'm trying to think of other ways that the thing to remember with this is you need to be consistent as well. So I was not selling 12 whiff boxes straight away. So if you decide you're going to go with this, like, don't get disheartened if you're selling 3 for a few months. Act like you're selling 12 on social media. Like, I'm not saying lie to people, but create the FOMO. If you've sold 3, but you've got 3 empty whiff boxes kicking about your house, use them to your advantage. Like, make the stack look like you've sold 6. Just build it up that way, and just be excited about it, really. That's why I think if you can afford to, get one yourself, and you can use one of these slots on your whiff box group for yourself, so that it's costing you less. But you will definitely, if you see it as an investment in your business, for me, that's the one thing I buy each month for my business, a whiff box, because that is how I sell so many more whiff boxes. Laura's pointing at hairs. That's what she buys for her business as well.
No, but they're all empty. That's what I'm saying. Like, they are empty. So just
exactly. You can use but it's just, so that's definitely one thing to build on. Like I say, I had last month where it wasn't the 12, and I was like, what the hell? And I've done all the things that I normally do. But in all honesty, I think some people, because they've maybe had a whiff box every month for 9 months, have thought, actually, this month I maybe need to not have the whiff box. I need to tighten my belt a little bit. And that's fair enough. But I've been working on a few other things in the background. So obviously, last month, what I've been working on was summer collection. And very much like Lisa said, and I say this to my team all the time, you do not need to buy the early access. It's not a tool people used to have. You absolutely do not need to do that. You can work with the scent descriptions. You can ask people in your team who've actually got those bars what their real life description is. But if you do buy them, like, literally, for the love of God, don't buy an early access collection and then let it sit in your house till after the collection's launched, because things sell out. Like, you need to prioritize. If you've paid for that as an investment in your business, you need to prioritize getting that sampled immediately and out as fast as you can. And I always have written down in my trusty notepad who's had it. So that was how I was front loading June. Everybody who'd had it, I was messaging them, asking what they thought, letting them know that I thought it was going to sell out, getting their pre-orders. My intention, now that we've found out Remy is coming back, is to do the same. I always say I don't have many Disney customers yet. I'm slowly starting to find them. I've never had any until about last month, 3 years in. But the Ratatouille collection was the most interest I've ever had. I didn't sell any, but it was the most interest I've ever had. So I'm going to be going back to all of those people and front loading with Remy, front loading with the whiff boxes, and then scent of the month. it's in Glitter Sparkle and Scent Squad. Obviously, Tasha Day's training, so I won't go massively into it. But I'd always had Scent of the Month. Like, so I've been with Scentsy 3 years, and I've got 7 people that have had Scent of the Month Club every month for 3 years. Do you know, on the 8 sort of bars you get, and then I kept one for myself. And I've never pushed it beyond that. And then when Tasha did her training, I was like, what was I thinking? That's absolute madness. So this month I've been really pushing that. And I've got 20 in my Scent of the Month club now. So that's 20 for the start of the month. But I'm going to try and keep building that. I'm at my brother's on a Wednesday. I didn't mean to bring you what I do for that, but I've forgotten. But basically what I've started doing is the Scent of the Month bar. Again, that's a good reason. If you get a whiff box, that'll be in there. And so I'm slicing the cubes into 3, so it's really quite a decent size sample. And I've made like a little flyer that just says, like, do you want to be in my Scent of the Month club? Explain the price and all the perks, and that's stapled. And that is, anybody that's not in my Scent of the Month club will get that in their order bags like each month. And then I'm writing that down as well and messaging them and saying, oh, did you see that Scent of the Month thing? Do you want to join? And building it that way. So last month I was fine with the fact I'd only sold 9 whiff boxes because the Scent of the Month and the summer collection freeloading. But I don't think I got to 500 on the first, but I was about 370, I think, on the first by working those things. So I think that's all of how I do it. Did anybody have any questions about how you actually input that on Scentsy Club for the whiff box special?
I don't think there was any questions that come up in chat. Lots of people like, this is a good idea. Loving the idea. I love the idea. And when I heard, I was like, why have I not swapped over my VIP boxes? I haven't done my VIP
the stuff arrived for my VIP boxes. I used to have the biggest dread. I was like, oh my God, I've got to make those. And I know some people love doing that, but I'm not creative. And if there's one thing in life I don't have much of, it's time. But I used to just be like, oh no, not then. Whereas now I'm like, whiff boxes, these are amazing. I can smash them straight out.
Do you know what was brilliant about the whiff boxes that Katrina's talking about, guys, as well? It's a really natural Scentsy club conversation. I mean, I know they're getting a huge discount, but it opens up, like, for those people that are absolutely loving it and they want it month in, month out, you could say to them, look, you could actually move this onto your own Scentsy Club subscription. And why don't we add your favorite bar of coconut lemongrass onto it as well? You know, you're always going to get it. And I tell you what, I'll throw you a bar in of something. If you wanted to discount them in some way still, you could definitely do that. So Nikki asked, how do you advertise the whiff box special price?
So I mainly direct message. I'll be honest, most of my sales all month round are from connections with people, from talking to people, and actually that direct message. I reckon only about 20% of my sales come from social media posts. I do post minimum 3 times a day, but that's not where my sales come from. So I tend to message people and let them know what the price is. On social media to remain compliant, I have like, I'll take a photo of myself with a whiff box, just put on Canva, do you want to be in my whiff box gang, or whatever you want to call it. Mine's called a whiff box gang. And then I'll just say like or comment, and I will message you the special price. I just do it that way. I make it very clear to people on there. So I create the urgency on any posts. I make it very clear that there's only 12 available at that price, that you have to let me know by the whatever date you set. For me, I do it the 29th. And you have to let me know by the 29th. Payment's not till the 1st, because some people are like, they need to be paid. But I make it very clear. You can choose. I mean, some people in my team run this special at different points in the month. But for me, I wanted it to be, this is how I get active. So I just decided to be quite strict with it almost. That's not the word, but I'm just like, no, that's the price on the 1st of the month. If you don't purchase it on the 1st of the month, it's £42. So they know that if they want to have a massive saving, they commit then, basically.
Oh, sorry.
Emma said, would you build it to more than 12? I would. I've sold 15 before. I think in the December one or the November one. But on social media and to my customers, they think it's 12. But yes, you can, because I just added another one to my husband's, like on the I wasn't going to turn down another 50 PRV. So I just, once I got 3 more, I was like, yep, that's fine. But I want to keep the urgency. I don't want people to think like it's something any man and his dog could get. So I just always stick to the 12, and then I'll go back and comment on the post as each one sells, so it bumps it back up, and I'll be like, only 4 left, only 3 left. People who were thinking about it, I'll message them and say there's only 2 left. Like when it is only 2, I don't just lie to them. And then they're like, oh yeah, go on then, I'll have it, because they get scared that they're going to see the box, really want it, and have to pay £42.
Owners asked, do you ever get someone who doesn't like or can't use a certain product, and have you ever had to swap that product out?
Well, no, because that is not your responsibility. They're choosing to buy something as a mystery.
Yeah.
If it's like an absolutely golden customer, I would obviously see what I could do for them, but I wouldn't want that to be public knowledge, because I know someone who used to do body shop, for example, and I used to buy mystery bags of hair. I'd never go back to her and say, I don't actually like that product in there. Can I change it?
Yeah.
That's like, you've got to have boundaries. You're a business, is my thoughts on that, really. So I did have one message me the other day and say she really didn't like the lavender bar in this month's. And I was like, oh, there you go. You sorted for a gift then. Like, surely everyone has raffle prizes, like knocking about under their bed. I do.
True.
Carrie has said, I run it at the beginning of the month and I let customers see what's in it before buying. I build up the buzz beforehand though. I do a poll around wanting to see the contents.
Yeah, I do that when it's a wrap. So once I know the contents, I'll always sort of, again, put another photo on and say, I've found out who wants to know the contents. And then I message them all. And I will find lots of people saying, oh, I would have wanted it. And it depends where your business is or how you want to run your business. I decided that this was how I was going to do it, because I felt like this would maximize the sales for me, knowing my customers. So in that case, like, sometimes it's hard and you nearly have a wobble and think, oh, do I try and run a few more? But I just say to them, oh, well, you should have committed on the first, and make a joke of it. And quite often they then go pay £42 if they really want it, and think next month I'll commit on the first. So I am a bit harsh with it, really.
Or you get them to add it to their own Scentsy club.
Yeah.
It's
not, I don't think it's harsh at all. I think exactly the word that you just said, it's setting those boundaries. And it's like there has to be a line, because otherwise it creates that FOMO. They're like, oh, hang on, I really wanted that. Like, we've all done it. Let's be honest. So we've all, as a consumer, we've all done it.
Yeah. And the thing is as well, you do need to have boundaries, because otherwise, like when I first started this business, I found most of my friends and family were always saying to me, what discount can you give me? What special price can you do me at? And I stuck to my guns of like, oh, well, I can give you a free bar if you buy 5 bundle. Yeah. Or like, I can do this. Okay, because that's not how your friends and family should be supporting your business. So say, for example, my friend, she's my oldest friend from school, she does my nails and stuff. And she used to go to give me 10% off. And I was like, don't give me 10% off. Like, this is your livelihood. And as your friend, I want to pay what the price is. So don't feel pressured from people to wobble what your boundaries are for your business to suit them. It's a business. If they want it, they'll pay what the price is. Don't be out of pocket for it.
Absolutely. And, you know, like Lise just said, the proof's in the pudding. We sold out a £48 buddy in like 14 minutes. So
people will pay it. I think, and like you say, if they miss out on your offer, you've always got the option to say to them, well, why don't you add it to club? And this is where you've got to have, as well as your boundaries in place, you've almost got to have objections. It's no different to when you're trying to sign a teamie up. But by the way, I can't take myself serious about how like the colour of my face is like.
I think it's a real nice colour.
I'm literally glowing. But as a business owner, you've got to have those objections. You've got to have that, you know, exactly that. offering people the bundle and save. I get asked all the time, what deals have you got on wax at the minute? I tell them it's buy 5, get 1 free. People don't even batter an eyelid at it. They're not expecting you to save £5 a bar. And I think as well, we're in a period now where, you know, yes, all right, times are hard, but also why should you put yourselves out of pocket just because somebody else wants a deal? If they really want something cheaper, they can either go and find another consultant to get it from. I guarantee you they won't get somebody else doing the whiff box at these sort of prices. You've just got to set those boundaries and stick to them, and people will still keep coming back. That's what I found. And people will start buying on your website, and all of those things that you think that people won't do, they will do. You've just got to stick to your guns.
So Lorraine's just asked if I let people know what the scent of the month is. No, because with the scent of the month, if you go back and watch Tasha Day's training, I won't go over that fully now because she explains it way better. With the scent of the month club, because it's not as expensive, it's £6.52. I have told them that that's like a 6-month commitment. And they're absolutely fine with that because it's less than £7, isn't it, once a month? So no, I don't tell them what it is. The only time I have is the one coming up. So the other night I went to my customers because I know some people are allergic to lavender. So I just went to my customers, and the reason I thought I could do this is next month is Bring Back My Bar, so that it can still be an exclusive bar. I'm not telling them what it is. They've not got choice. But I just went to my customers and said, this won't normally be the case, but because next month is lavender and I know some people have allergies, can you just tell me yes or no if you're a lavender lover? If you're not, you'll get a different exclusive surprise bar, and I'm going to give them a Bring Back My Bar. I also sort of said, I don't like lavender, but I like this one. It's not grandma lavender. It's not artificial lavender. So a few have come back and said, oh, I don't like lavender, but I always really trust you. So I'm intrigued. If you like it, I want to try it. So most have said they want it, actually. One did say to me, I don't mind lavender, but if it's the lavender that was in June's whiff box, I'm a hard no. So I was like, okay, it's definitely not that one for you then.
Definitely not for you.
Brilliant.
I love that.
And I think what's really important, and like really important while we're on the subject of like, you know, standing, you know, proud of your business and setting boundaries and things, do not ever place an order until somebody's paid you. Never. Do not put yourself out of pocket for putting an order in, because I've had conversations with Tammy so many times and like, oh, this order's come in and this person hasn't paid me. Why did you place the order then? I know we want PRV, guys, but honestly, what's that?
That's when she's not paid me.
Oh yeah. So don't learn from mine and later. But this is genuine, like from experience. Like I did it in the beginning.
You can't order anything else online and not pay.
Like nothing. You wouldn't walk into Tesco's and walk out with your trolley of shopping and not pay for it. So I know sometimes you think, oh, I want to get that PRV, I want to get that. If they haven't paid for it, they haven't ordered. So that's just a really important habit to get into.
Because also you run the risk of completely losing the customer. The girl who sponsored me, this happened to her. So she used to sometimes place orders without the payment. And on a few occasions, because people had then let her down, they just completely ghosted her because I imagine they were embarrassed. And they never returned as a customer. So that's another thing to consider, as well as being out of pocket. Somebody might then be embarrassed and leg it.
Yeah, it does happen. Amazing. So I love all them ideas for front loading. Katrina, thank you.
No worries.
So much, because I know well, me and Laura probably put you on the spot. Like we do this, yes. In 2 days' time, yes. All right, girls. So I really appreciate you coming on and sharing that, because also I wrote a whole page of notes and I love it when someone pours into us. We love that. So very appreciative. I just want to add on front loading as well, guys. Just a couple of other things I did write down when Katrina was talking. So pour your love into the chat for her so that she can read it all. I just wrote down another couple of things that you should be thinking about for next month. And these are the things that I would write down and be like questioning what's happening in your business in relation to, have you got any events booked? Because they are really, really important going into the summer months. You've got a lot of school fetes at the moment. You know, summer fetes, summer fairs. You can get out there and put your name out there. If you haven't got anything booked in your diary for July and August, now get in there. Go and start messaging people. There are always people that are looking for last minute stall holders. So this is a really good time to fill your diary up, because that is also front loading, because you know there's going to be some guaranteed PRV, or you don't know how much, but you know that you'll be able to get some PRV from an event. The same with parties. If you are not sort of trying to book parties because you are still telling yourself that no one wants to party, I know that these two ladies are regularly booking parties. So you need to get out of your head and have those conversations. Borrow a bag, is it booked out already for July? Mine's not. So I'm starting thinking, well, it needs to be. Mine needs to be booked out for the whole week, Laura, while we're in Orlando. Our bags, all three of them, need to be out of our house. So if you are going to SFR, your borrow bag should not be staying at home while you're at SFR. And if you're not going to SFR, your borrow bag should 100% be out for the whole of July. Get it booked now. Get them booked in the diary. Start lining people up, because you can guarantee that your bag's going to be out. This is the sort of activities that when you sit down and go, oh, I need to work some Scentsy, but I don't know what to do. These are the activities that you should be doing. This is where we're going to keep coming back to these activities over and over again. And you're going to be sick of me going, the 3 legs of success, the 3 legs of success, and booking parties. But it's how your business is going to boom and grow again. So many of you are struggling for new customers. This is where you're going to find them. Bingo parties, if you haven't tried one, there's some training on it. Get one booked. And then I know this is for another training for another night. Katrina does showcase parties, and she shared a summer collection showcase with us. And I know my team, we've done this before. Laura and I used to do these loads
all the time.
I fell out of the habit of doing them, but why not have a summer showcase in July? 1st of July, you could do a showcase party, build up the FOMO for it now. You could pick the products. You could just do all summer themed products that are in the catalogue. Go mango, watermelon, tangerine, you know, flowers in Blue Grotto, anything that is citrusy summer vibes. If we haven't got things launching on the 1st, I don't know what Bring Back My Bar obviously is. You could do a Bring Back My Bar showcase. There's so much you could do with it, but you've got to think outside the box to actually bring the PRV in and get planning and front load your business, that loading up your business. So that's just
another Danielle, I'm not ignoring your question. We will answer that in a sec. I just want to add this on as well. Teacher gifts. So not only teacher gifts for other customers, if your child goes to school. So literally just yesterday, I popped on the chat, like the WhatsApp chat, about doing a hamper. I did totally say, like, if people want to do their own thing, then that's cool. But overnight I had 16 people say yes. I mean, I'll send you a tenner. Boom. So that is, like, you know, a big order straight away. So don't be frightened to say, look, this is my business. It'll help you out. Like, so people are super busy at the end of term. I also put it in our gym chat this morning and shouted out me, Lisa and Georgie, and I was like, contact the person that you know. People have children, and it is the perfect time to be front. You could either do this to get them in this month, or if you want to front load it for next month, you can then put them in on the 1st, and you've still got till the middle of July. I'm trying to get mine in this month, obviously, because we're going away. But yeah, so just teacher gifts. It's the perfect opportunity. But again, don't just post and run. Actually speak to people who have children, like, directly, and ask them.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, just quickly on teacher gifts, because I've worked in schools for 16 years. Don't just think of people with kids. Like, if you know teachers, go to them and ask if they need gifts for their TAs. I sell a lot that way. Teachers gift their staff as well.
Oh, that's a good idea. Never thought about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm on it. I know loads of teachers.
I'm gonna say, you were a teacher.
On it. So I've got along.
No, I was going to say, you need to share your idea that you said to me when we were sitting at your kitchen for new customers. I know that's
I'm going to say that I want to put it into action first.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'll shut up.
That's not.
Sorry,
yeah.
I know that's off topic. It's just my brain.
I know. I just want to put that into action.
Ignore me.
It's a good idea. I need to rewind. Yeah. So we've got literally 6 minutes till the hour, and Love Island's on. What is there anybody that would love to unmute and share something that you do that works really well to front load your business? Katie, I know you shared something in the chat, and you might like to unmute. I don't know. Feel free. If there's anybody, Katie looks like she's unmuting.
Hi.
Hi.
No.
So I do wax of the day every single day, usually on a one-to-one basis, or if it is in my customer group, obviously it's just message or comment for the price. So I use bundle and save pricing and do it for £6. I pick one random wax bar out the drawer every single day, and I always try to use something that I've got in stock so that it's a photo of me with the wax bar. I find that people like to buy more that way because they know you've got it in your hand, you're warming it, it's your recommendation. And I literally, all my customers know that I do them at £6 per bar for wax of the day. I'll pull it out the drawer, I'll take a photo. It might just be a photo of my hand, it might be my mug shot with it. And that is my wax bar of the day, and they get that at that special price. So I discussed this with my team and said that imagine if you sold one of those per day, that is 30 wax bars for the full month. But imagine if you went on to sell 2, 3, 4 of them per day, and what a qualifying order it is. It's a little bit like front loading, but doing it every day of the month sort of thing. And because we have over 80 different scents, obviously you can see it all the way through the month. And you're not going to repeat that same scent. But I'm clever in how I do it as well, because certain times I'll think, you know, when you feel like you're not selling much and you want to sell that little bit more, I'll pull one out that's a very, very popular one. So clothesline or Go Mango. And if I know I'm a little bit slow, I'll pull that out, and then I know there's going to be plenty of customers that are going to grab it at that discounted price. So that's one of the things that I do to obviously try and front load a little bit.
I love that idea, because you can literally run with that, can't you? With like, say, like, for example, you take sea salt and avocado, and then you could talk about all the other products that you do in sea salt and avocado. Like, it literally is like almost having a fragrance theme for the day. I love that.
So I run with the wax and then I go on to do them, but I normally run with the wax, and then a couple of days later I sometimes run with a bundle. So I'll do an Amazon rain bundle. Yesterday I think I ran with a room spray, a wax bar, and a scent circle in the same scent. I literally put them in one of those clear bags that you can get from the pound shop or the works with the little zip and seal pull off thing, and put a little label on it. I'll put a photo in Laura's group so that you can see. But I run with that, and then I just do bundle and save prices.
Amazing.
Love that. Love it. Thanks, Katie. Thanks, Has anyone else got anything that they do in particular on the first that works really well for them? Or anything you want to share? Anything that's working well for you right now?
Feel free.
Be brave.
I'll share. Always. So I don't front load this on the 1st, but you could. I do this on the 15th to boost my PRV mid-month, and mine's Sample Club, which you guys have already introduced to us. I think Vicky Colby introduced it originally. But my customers love it because I don't do wax ever. I always do. Oh my God, I'm swallowed. Excuse my washing in the background. My washing's in the background. I always do. So this month I did a scent pack, which was travel theme for like suitcases. I've done a Counter Clean, I've done body wash, like a self-care one, and the label I'd put on it was like pour me into a hot bath. What else did I do? Car bar, which was like a flower power, I did opal flowers, and obviously with the samples. But Sample Club has been a game changer for me. I think the most I sold was 17, and I've always got at least 12 people who want it every single month. And that builds up, that PRV builds, you don't realise it. And then it, you know, and the samples that you put in, I always then get them come back and go, oh, can I order this? Yeah. Oh, can I order this? So it honestly, Sample Club has been a game changer, but I don't do it with wax, because I do scent of the month, same as Katrina. And I do my scent of the month every month. And I either have an active order or at least half an active order, then I do the whiff box as well because of Katrina's training. But Sample Club has been a game changer because my customers love the fact that it's a dead cheap price point. And I think I need to do room sprays next, actually. That's a good point. But they just love it because it's not wax, because they buy wax all the time. So they love the fact that they...
I literally remember, really weird, I remember where I was when I listened to this voice message. I literally remember pulling over, I was delivering in the car, and you sent me a voice note going, why did I not do sample club before.
No, I procrastinated over it for so long, and then I did it, and I did a car bar first because I thought I'll do something cheap, and it was like £7. And I split the bundle, but I charged them 7 because obviously put extras in, and yeah, literally 17. I did it within an hour. I was like, so honestly, so even though I don't use it to front load, I use it mid-month for a boost. You could use it for front load and easy.
I love that. A few
Amazing.
people are asking, Emma, what you charge for yours. Do you charge different
every
every plan? Yeah. Do you
I
charge?
use more Scentsy pricing as well.
Yeah. Scentsy pricing, charge for the product. I love it. It's just like doing a mystery product every month. And do you know what I love about Sample Club? It's easy to follow up with the samples because you know what you've put in.
But yeah,
17 bags. You're like, well, I remember that I put this, this, and this, and this. And as you say, like Katie said, when you've got 80 waxes, you're never going to run out of things to sample with, right? There's always something they've not tried.
Yeah, always. And I always do it with the theme. So this one's been holidays, so it'll be summer holiday, it'll be whatever else we've got in holiday themed, but like soaking rays or whatever we've got, like, it'll be holiday themed stuff. Like flower power was all floral, so it's always, and like you say, it's so much easier to follow up. Some of my sample clubs, so this month they're getting Bring Back My Bar samples.
yeah.
So I did that with summer collection as well. My last sample club got summer collection. I got so many more orders for summer collection because I sampled it with my sample club.
Yeah.
So intentionally sampling with that sample club as well is massive.
Intention is such a fantastic word, honestly, doing anything with intention. Do you know what, look, I am going to share that idea, which I wasn't going to, was I? But I will share it because I thought about it. I thought I was going to try and grab the stuff. So I had this idea. Thank you, by the way, Emma. I had this idea.
That was amazing.
Where a lot of you are struggling to find new customers right now. And actually, it was a bit of a, this, I don't even know where this come from, but I was doing my deliveries and I was posting a wax bar through my customer's door, and I parked in her neighbour's disabled spot, which is really naughty. Her neighbour wasn't in, and I thought to myself, oh, I hope like she doesn't thinking like, I hope she's not in and thinking, oh, I was only 2 minutes anyway. But then suddenly it comes to me and I thought, what a great idea would it be to have packs made up in your car, really thin, cheap packs. So I have got something similar over there, but it's not quite made up. So I'm thinking product sheet, clear plastic bag, like the ones Katie was talking about in the works, very sliver samples, like a couple of samples in there, nothing major, something that's got your details on it. And then you stick a sticker on the front of all of the bags that's generic. Okay, the sticker will say something like, hello, I was just delivering to space. You're going to leave a space to who you were delivering to. I thought that whilst I was in the area, my name's Lisa. I'm Sarah, let's say Sarah. Sarah's local, because it was Sarah who I was posting to. I'm Sarah's local Scentsy consultant. I don't know if you've ever tried Scentsy before, but if you haven't, here's some free samples on me. I'm always in the area delivering to Sarah, so therefore I can deliver to you. You can word it better than that, okay? Because I worded it really well earlier, but that was a bit like miffy. So basically, as I deliver the wax bar to Sarah, I go to her 5 neighbours. I'm literally just going to write on the pack, Sarah, in the name where I've left the blank. I go to 5 different houses, make a note of which houses I did it, pop them through the door. So hopefully some of their neighbours might say, oh, Sarah, your Scentsy lady popped this catalogue or whatever, not a catalogue, I would just do like product sheets through my door. Oh yeah, my Scentsy lady, Lisa, she's amazing, blah, 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 blah. I've never had Scentsy before. What do you think I would like? And we go from there. So basically it's your normal customers, your route that you're already delivering to. Like I deliver to the same people, the same route. Like when I go to Canvey, it's literally the same people I deliver to every single time. And every time I deliver, why not deliver a sample pack that says, I am Janice's Scentsy consultant at number 30. Leave a space for that, create a little sticker, introduce yourself, make sure it's got your face on it, make sure it's got your details on it. You could literally have them loaded up in your car, blank, so that every time you do a delivery or every time you go near someone's house that's your customer, you could deliver 4 or 5 to local people. And hopefully someone might spot you delivering the Scentsy and be like, oh, you put something through my door. So it was just an idea that I had that I thought, why not do that? Why not you know, 5 at a time. Every time you go out and you do a delivery, okay, I'm going to give out 5 packs today to Sarah's neighbours, Janice's neighbours, Laura's neighbours. And it doesn't, you know, it may well be that they've already got a Scentsy consultant. What's the harm? But what if they haven't? What if they've never heard of Scentsy? And I always get that feeling when I'm doing my deliveries. I'm like, look at all these houses. Every single one of these houses is not going to have Scentsy in them.
I literally think that all the time. And when people say that, oh, there's too many consultants or everybody's got a Scentsy consultant, if you actually look at how many houses and how many people there are in the world, like there's a small fraction of people that have got Scentsy, like the tiniest little fraction. And we haven't even scratched the surface.
We haven't scratched the surface, no. And I feel like if you're already going to those houses and you're letting them know, they're not going to feel like they're going to inconvenience you by buying from you. They're not going to, you know, you're not cold calling, so you're not knocking on people's doors. But it's really important, guys, if you do decide to do this, one, make them really cost effective. Don't give out like thousands of samples, catalogs in there. They need to be like, I'll show you, this is something I put together. It's really cheap as chips, and I've only got, it's half deconstructed. Hold on.
Lisa, I feel like we had something similar to this from Caroline Bennett maybe last year, where it was, hello, I'm your neighbour's Scentsy consultant, and then we said about just sticking stickers on it, because I know for sure I printed them and never did anything with them.
I don't know. I can't remember
that.
Probably. There's a lot of things shared, isn't there? So
oh yeah, well, I'll find it. Definitely got it.
So this is something I put together for my team. Something really, really basic. It basically is one product sheet. It's a join flyer, a welcome to Scentsy. Now, obviously, I would swap this up and be like, I'm your local Scentsy consultant that delivers to your neighbour. Some scratch and sniff flyers, like literally a flyer with just random scratch and sniff stickers. And then one scent of the month sample. And then I also put these in my borrow bag, and I love them. And they say, thank you for supporting my small business. If you spend over £50 with me, you can scratch the sticker away and you win a prize. They go in every one of my borrow bags, and everyone I've had that's gone out in a borrow bag recently have spent over 50 quid because they wanted a freebie. And all the freebie will be is things like a scent circle or a wax bar. And the wax bar will be from my stash here, my personal, and I pick it, or the scent circle will be out of my drawer. So just, you could put samples in there, anything you like. And that literally goes in a bag. They are £2 out of the works. They probably would cost me next to nothing to put together. Something like that, sticker on the front of it. I'm delivering to your neighbour, Sarah, Claire, whoever. If you would like some Scentsy, pop me a message. It's an idea. Why not give it a try?
Amazing.
Who knows? You might grow your customer base.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Anywhere, basically, there's going to be other human beings. Just make sure there's some Scentsy in front of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know some of you feel really icky about having conversations with people cold. So this is the way where you don't need to. You know, you're just going to take the punt and put something through the door.
Absolutely.
So.
100%. And also, like, you're offering them a free gift of something that smells nice. It's not like, I was going to say, like, it's not drugs. And I know that's really inappropriate. I don't mean that as it's, do you know what I mean? But like, you know what I meant.
Real. Amazing. That's a good one to finish on, Laura.
Yeah. But no. You know what I mean? You're not trying to like sell them a timeshare or something abroad. Like you'd give
timeshare.
Like,
yeah, good old.
Nice.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, guys, amazing. Right, has anybody got anything else that they would like to ask or they would like to share? Because, like we said, we don't want to keep you too long. But honestly, I could sit and talk about this all night. This is like my happy place.
And I love the fact that there's so many of you showing up, by the way, to these every 2 weeks. Like, challenge you to, you know, put a post in your SSD groups and tell people, if you've taken a lot away from tonight, do a post in Glitter Sparkle, in Scent Squad, in your direct groups to try and encourage more people to come along. Because the more people we can get onto these calls, especially your teams, if you've got teams, the better your teams are going to do, because they're going to be full of these ideas and, you know, all of that jazz. So
absolutely, there's nothing like watching these things live. You can watch the replay, but there's nothing like being there and being, you know,
you wouldn't get to see my orange face.
Oh, brilliant. Right, I I will share the recording. I'll do it in a minute. I'll share it and upload it and share a link. So I'll try and do it tonight because then it's done and out of my brain so I don't forget. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for being here. Thank you to everybody that shared. Really excited to see, you know, where the I didn't count how many days. How many days have we got left in the month? Let's see, because we can actually break it down. So we've got
11, isn't it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
We're
11.
31 in June.
Yeah. So that's how many days we've got left to keep working this month, but also start thinking about what you're going to do to start. I nearly said July, to start your August strong. How are we nearly in August? What the heck?
Can't wait to see all 40 of you active on the 1st.
Yes, and if you
No
do
pressure.
get active on the 1st, you know, let us know. Let us know that this was helpful, because actually, you know, that feedback helps. You know, if we know that what we're doing and what we're sharing is helping, let us know, because then you can obviously share that with your teams. That's all leadership is, guys. It's just sharing. Sharing is caring, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
And thank you, a huge thank you to Katrina as well for being our speaker tonight. We appreciate you.
I was just going to say as well, if anyone's like stuck on anything I spoke about or don't really understand it, you can always just message me and I'll explain it.
I love that.
Amazing. Right, thanks, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we will see you soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.